Hello students, welcome back to our online classes. Wish you a very happy new year students. I hope that all of you are doing good. So let's start today's module. Today I am going to start new chapter. This is chapter 5 from class 8, the judiciary. So the major areas of this chapter are importance of the judiciary, need for an independent judiciary, what are the functions of the judiciary, Supreme Court, High Court, subordinate courts and lok adalats. So in this chapter we will discuss about the all these topics. Students, before starting this chapter, have a look on the introduction of this chapter. India has a federal system of governance. What is federal government? In a federal government, the power is divided into two or more levels. In a federal government, power of government divide between the national government, state government and the local government like India. So India has a federal system of governance but a single integrated judiciary system. Single integrated judiciary system means the decisions made by higher courts are binding on the lower courts. It means that the lower courts are binded to follow the decisions made by the higher courts. Judiciary administers the justice, interprets the laws, and protects the natural rights of the citizens. And it also looked into the union and state laws through the hierarchy of courts. The Supreme Court is at the top of hierarchy, followed by high courts and the subordinate courts at different levels of the judicial system. So this is all about the introduction of this chapter. Let's start today's module. In a democracy like India, the country is run by the rule of law. Law is a system of rules usually imposed through a government or an institution, and it is applied to govern a group of people. Judiciary shapes politics, economics, society in numerous ways. All laws apply equally to the all citizens of country. Means no one can be above the law. Any crime or violation of law has a specific punishment as well as a process through which a guilt of the person has to be established. So in a democracy, India is run by the rule of law, and any crime or violation of law has a specific punishment and no one can above the law. After this, what is judiciary? A judiciary is a system of courts that interprets and applies the laws in the name of states. So judiciary is a system of courts that interprets and applies the laws, and it is the mechanism for the resolution of the disputes. So judiciary is the mechanism for the resolution of the disputes. What is the importance of judiciary? The judiciary helps to settle disputes whenever there is conflict between the people and the state government, between the two states, or between the disputes between the state government and the union government. So the judiciary is responsible to settle disputes between the people and the state government, between two states, or between a state government and union government. Judiciary also upholds and enforces the fundamental rights of the citizen of India. The Supreme Court is the final interpreter of our constitution. This is how our judiciary is important. What is the need for an independent judiciary? The framers of our constitution have kept the judiciary is independent of legislature and the executive, so that the judiciary can check the misuse of powers by other two organs of the government. So we have three organs of government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. And legislature and executive can check by the judiciaries. Judiciary check the misuse of powers by the other two organs of the government. What are the functions of the judiciary? Judiciary is responsible to settle disputes between the people, between the government and the people. We already discussed about this. It resolves the disputes between the citizens, between the state government and the central government. The judiciary is the final interpreter of the constitution, and it has the power to reject particular laws passed by the parliament. And judiciary also upholds the law and enforces the fundamental rights of the citizens. Judiciary interprets the constitution and has power to declare a law null and void if it violates the principle of the constitution. And any citizen of country can approach the Supreme Court or the High Court if he or she believes that his or her fundamental rights has been violated. So this is how our judiciary performs the various functions. Students, do you know the first Lok Adalat was held in Junagadh in Gujarat in 1982, in which more than 100 cases were settled in a day. So this is fact. After this, what is the structure of judiciary? First, look at this picture. This is a flow chart. Supreme Court as the highest authority. After this, high courts in the states, and high courts are further divided into two parts: district and session judge courts in districts, and in metropolitan areas there are three levels: metropolitan magistrates court, city civil and session courts, and presidency small cause court. And in district, civil subordinate judges court, which is divided into two parts: Mansif's court and Nyay Panchayat; provincial small cause court; and criminal court of session. Criminal court of session is further divided into two parts: subordinate magistrate court and Panchayat Adalat. Subordinate magistrate court is further divided into two parts: judicial magistrate and executive magistrate. So this is the structure of judiciary. Supreme Court as the highest authority. After this, high courts in the states, and high courts are further divided into districts and session judge courts. In metropolitan areas, they are further divided into three parts: metropolitan magistrate courts, city civil and session courts, presidency courts. And district courts are further divided into three parts: civil subordinate judge court, provincial small courts, and criminal courts of session. So this is the structure of judiciary, and they are further divided into two parts. So in short term, we have four levels: Supreme Court at central level, High Courts at state level, District Court and district level, and Lok Adalat at village or panchayat level. So this is the simple structure of judiciary: Supreme Court, High Courts, District Courts, and Lok Adalats. So this is all for today's session. Thank you, students. Stay home, be safe.